The year before, a documentary filmmaker named Noor makes a pilgrimage to the ghost town of Centralia, Pennsylvania, which has been burning underground since 1962. Centralia is infamous for the strange lights that have been seen wandering around the town at night. Noor hikes out to the deserted highway that runs through town and sets up cameras along the ruined road. She leaves the cameras running overnight, and in the morning she reviews the footage. At first, the footage is unremarkable, just the wind and the trees. But then she sees it. There's a cluster of lights near the old mine entrance. They bob and weave like candles in the wind, then slowly recede into the darkness. Locals call these lights Ember, and according to folklore, if you follow them, they'll lead you away from the safety of the road and down into the hungry earth. Some say the lights are a trick of the mind, an optical illusion caused by the nearby fire, or maybe even a geologic phenomenon. Others say they're the lost souls of miners who perished in the collapse. Whatever they are, Noor wants to see them for herself. So when dusk falls, she drives back out to Hollow Road. Now the name of the road is said to derive from Scottish folklore about the willow-the-wisps that gather over old mine shafts and hollows. According to legend, these glowing lights are a dangerous lure, a false promise of light that leads weary travelers astray. And though they look pretty and pretty harmless, anyone who follows them into the dark eventually gets lost forever. But Noor isn't so superstitious. She parks her car and walks slowly down the empty highway until the lights start to appear. As she walks, they bob and weave like flames in the wind. She follows them for almost 2 miles. Then they suddenly stop. She looks up and sees that they've gathered together, forming a route that doesn't appear on any map. Intrigued, Noor begins following this new path, but soon she notices something strange. The mile markers are shifting. 1 minute it says 3 miles to the next exit. The next minute it says 4 miles. The guardrails that were missing altogether now reappear, folded neatly inward like a discarded blanket, and the sign for the non-existent town of Hemlock suddenly reappears, pointing the way to a past that never was. Then Noor sees something that makes her stop dead in her tracks. The Embers are doing something stranger here at the ruined town square. They're gathering together over the cracked asphalt and coalescing into a shape. When she switches on the night vision, she sees that the shape is a face, and when she steps closer, she can feel the heat coming off the ground. It feels like standing over a radiator. In the morning, she reviews the footage and sees something that wasn't on the camera. Whenever a light lingers on a house, that house's windows show a different era. In one house, she sees a woman standing by the window. It looks like 1940. She's wearing a dress that poof, then snaps back to ruin. In the next house, she sees a man in a 1970s lamp. Then he's gone. In the next house, she sees a child playing with a toy from the 1990s. Then poof, back to ruin. It's then that she realizes the lights aren't just guiding her. They're folding decades together. They're showing her versions of the town that could have been glimpses of lives that were lived in other worlds. Nur decides to follow the lights deeper into town. Her drone weaves between the ember lights, and suddenly the signal cuts out. When the drone returns, its camera shows the shadow of a person walking across the ruined road. Then in the very next frame, the shadow is older. It's the shadow of someone who never existed. The townspeople warned her not to chase the lights at dawn, but Nur is obsessed. She thinks there's a story in here somewhere. And besides, what harm could come from following some pretty lights? On the second night, she follows the lights farther than any recorded witness. They peel away from the road and form a ring over an old pond. Inside that orange ring, the water blazes like molten copper, and in the distance, she can hear the sound of the gas-fed underground fire, a constant reminder that the ground beneath her feet is always hungry, always waiting. And then Nur understands. She's not looking at the past or the future. She's looking at alternate presents. Each time she sees a house with lights in its windows. That's how those people might have lived if the fire had burned out. Or if the town had been evacuated. Or maybe they represent how those houses will look in the future. How they might burn or bloom again. The last clip, recovered from Nur's hard drive, is a single steady frame. The pond's surface reflects not the moon, but an orange lattice of lights, and on the far bank, the outline of a road sign that reads, "Impossibly Welcome Home."